When Adane got back to the convent, she was shocked to find Sister Agnes waiting for her by the gate. "Now will you tell me where you are coming from?" she asked Adane. Adane stood there staring at Sister Agnes for some minutes before she finally got back herself. Thereafter, she told Sister Agnes everything that happened. You are welcome to African Tales by Dorothy. I appreciate you all for your constant support to my channel. Today's story is about the runaway nun. Many years ago in the village of Ota, Ugo and Ebele were blessed with a beautiful baby girl. Unlike some babies in the village, baby Adane was not taken to the village church for prayers. Rather, Ugo and Ebele followed the footsteps of their ancestors. During the naming ceremony, the villagers gathered under the branches of the Iroko tree. Ebele, her face radiant with joy, cradled her baby in her arms. Ugo, the father, his eyes twinkling with pride, held a cup of palm wine. "I present to you," Ugo said, his voice thick with emotion, "Adane, our gift from Allah, the Earth Mother. May she be blessed with the strength of the Iroko, the wisdom of the ancestors, and the fertility of the land. This child shall be named Adane." The murmur of approval rose from the assembled villagers, their faces aged with respect for the Ugo honoring tradition. The women also erupted in joy and good wishes for the newborn baby. Unfortunately, 5 years after Adane's birth, her mother died. Little Adane, who was just 5 years old, could not understand why her beloved mother was not around anymore. It took a long while for Adane's father to overcome the loss of his beloved wife. He refused to remarry. Years went by and Adane grew into a very beautiful young maiden. Her father was very proud and protective of her, but was not too happy about Adane's decision to always attend the village church. Adane refused to join her father in his traditional way of worship, but loved to join the Christians in the village to attend the village church. She loved to sing the songs from the church. The Reverend Father Michael, who was in charge of the church, was always delighted to see Adane at the church. Apart from Adane's father, there was another person who was not too happy with Adane's attendance at the church. This was Adane's uncle. Dike was his name. Dike, a man whose heart was full with greed and laziness, had refused to marry or work. His elder brother's properties were of great interest to him. No matter what Adane's father did for his younger brother, Dike, he would always complain that it was not enough. He used the money given to him to drink every day. After countless advices to Dike without success, Ugo, the elder brother, decided to ignore him and face his life and only daughter, Adane. One afternoon, as Adane walked past her uncle, Dike, he stopped her and said, "Adane, you are a growing girl. Soon it will be time to make your family proud by securing a wealthy husband. I will personally be the one to collect the bride price. Also, I don't want to ever see you attend that church again." Adane was confused by her uncle's words, but she did not reply him. Her father, who had overheard the exchange, felt a cold dread grip his heart. He decided to be more protective of his daughter, but he didn't know that Dike, his younger brother, was planning a greater evil thing for him. Months later, the rain didn't fall and it affected the crops. The villagers suggested appeasement to the gods, but Adane told her father that they should rather pray to her God in the village church. My God can change the situation in the village, Adane told her father. Her father smiled at his daughter's suggestion. He had never set his foot into a church and he will never ever do it. Adane's uncle, Dike, saw an opportunity, a way to manipulate the situation and gain control of his elder brother's properties. His greed made him to lie against his elder brother, Ugo. He approached the village elders, his voice dripping with lies about his elder brother, Ugo. He accused his elder brother of disrespecting the ancestors and encouraging his daughter to destroy the source of water in the village. He told the chiefs that his brother had a plan to take over the palace. The elders, swayed by Dike's cunning words, did not even bother to investigate. They banished Ugo from the village. Ugo pleaded with the elders to listen to him, but they refused. Adane wept bitterly, and the echoes of her cries swept through the village as she was forced to part from her father. Her father, Ugo, heartbroken but trying to keep his calm, held his daughter with his tear-filled eyes. I will return, Adane. Stay strong for me, you hear? The elders had decreed that Adane could not accompany her father. She was forced to stay with Dike, her greedy uncle. Dike, consumed by greed, treated Adane more like a servant than his brother's daughter. Adane had no choice but to be hiding to visit the village church. Her uncle had warned her that if he ever sees her there again, he will deal with her. But Adane refused to listen to her uncle. Her only source of joy was singing God's songs and worshiping God on a daily basis. It gave her a great source of comfort, and Father Michael would give her food to eat, pray with her, and encourage her to stay calm that she would be united with her father again. One day, Adane was shocked to hear her uncle make a plan concerning her. Dike, her uncle, blinded by greed and selfishness, saw Adane not as a family member but as a bargaining chip. Uncle Dike announced his plans. He would marry Adane off to Chief Chike, a wealthy but corrupt old man who craved a young wife. Dike, blinded by greed, promised Chief Chike Adane's hand in marriage in exchange for a hefty sum of money. The prospect of Chief Dike's wrinkled hands touching her skin sent a wave of nausea crashing over Adane. Despair threatened to drown her, but a voice told her to stay calm. That night, as the moon cast its glow on the roof of their house, Adane made a decision. With a pounding heart, Adane ran into the moonlit village. She went straight to the village church. It was her only hope. Adane told Father Michael how her uncle wanted to marry her off to the old chief. Why is your uncle so evil-minded? We can't allow him to succeed. Stay here in the parlor, my daughter. Very early in the morning, I will take you to the Sacred Heart Monastery in the next village. You will stay there until things get sorted out. In the morning, Father Michael and Adane set out very early. She was handed over to Sister Agnes, and the convent, a sanctuary of serenity, became Adane's refuge. Sister Agnes told Adane that she would love staying with them. Adanne was given the nun's clothes for her to change into. Desks were filled with prayers, the quiet hum of sisterhood, a chorus of compassion, soothed the wounds inflicted by Adanne's uncle's greed. Some months later, Adanne, who became very worried about her father, decided to go to her village and find out if anyone had heard anything about him. Around evening, as she walked up to the village road, she noticed that someone was following her. Adanne started running, but the person ran after her. Exhausted, she sat down and the person met up with her. "Please spare my life," Adanne screamed. "Sister Adanne, I don't want to hurt you. It's me, Emeka, Father Michael's boy." Adanne was very relieved. "What are you doing here in the village? Your uncle has been searching for you. I will not hesitate to deal with you if he gets you." Adanne then told Emeka all her worries about her father. "It's okay, Adanne," Emeka replied. "I understand your worries, but this is not the best way for you to go about it. Let us follow things my own way." He then proceeded to tell Adanne his plan, and thereafter he escorted Adanne back to the convent. When Adanne got back to the convent, she was shocked to find Sister Agnes waiting for her by the gate. "Now will you tell me where you are coming from?" she asked Adanne. Adanne stood there staring at Sister Agnes for some minutes before she got back herself. Thereafter, she told Sister Agnes everything. "You should have confided in me. If anything had happened to you, what would I have told Father Michael?" Sister Agnes, the wise Reverend Mother, then came up with another daring plan on how to help Adanne's father. A week after, disguised as a visiting trader, along with Sister Agnes, they told Emeka, Father Michael's boy, to lure Dike out to the outskirts of the village. When Dike was told by Emeka that there was a lucrative trade deal which would make him the richest man in the village, his eyes widened in disbelief. He was told to steal the money kept in his care by the elders and buy the goods, then return back the money to the purse. Dike quickly calculated how much he would make, and he then stole the money kept in his care by the elders. Dike's greed knew no bounds. He readily agreed to help the traders retrieve the treasure. There, with Emeka's support, they confronted him. When Adanne removed her veil, her uncle was shocked. He dashed out to Adanne, but Emeka, Father Michael's boy, intervened. They threatened to hand him over to the police. Dike, who was very much afraid, confessed his treachery. Adanne, who still had on the veil, was very disappointed at her uncle. She said to him, "My uncle, your greed destroyed my family. You were wicked to your own brother because of your greed. You didn't know that greed is a force that consumes a person and turns the person into a slave of their own desires. You have to pay for your sins." Justice, swift and harsh, came for Dike. He was arrested by the police and locked up. Ugo, Adanne's father, returned exonerated. He had gone to the neighboring village to live with his late wife's brother. Adanne was very excited to see her father again. "My daughter, thank you very much. I'm very proud of you. You are a great child, but why are you dressed like a nun? Ugo said to his daughter. Adanne explained to her father all that happened. Thereafter, Adanne the nun chose to remain at the convent for some time. She told her father that she had great peace living amongst the reverend sisters. Ugo, her father, agreed with his daughter and blessed her. Moral lesson in the story: the consequences of greed are greed in the end fails even the greedy people. It doesn't ever satisfy until the person falls into trouble if he or she doesn't change. DK, Adane's uncle, who was very greedy, eventually fell into trouble. We have come to the end of today's story. I hope you enjoyed it. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel to enjoy more of my stories. Until my next video, stay uplifted.